Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Tony here, adult gero primary care nurse practitioner. And today's video will be discussing the several ways to becoming a nurse practitioner. Hi, thanks for coming back. And today I would love to discuss 7.5 ways. We'll call it 8, but the 8th kind of rounds back up to the first method I'm going to discuss. All right, so I'm going to be looking off to the side here because I made notes so I can remember, because there's so many ways. So let's get into it. First way is you're an RN already who holds an associate degree nursing degree, associate in applied science, associate of science, whichever. It's associate degree, okay? And you want to become a nurse practitioner. First method is find a RN to MSN program. RN to MSN program are usually ones who do not hold a Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree. So you have an ADN, you want an MSN. There are programs out there like this that you could go straight from ADN to MSN. Do not believe the hype and when people say you need a BSN to become a nurse practitioner or to be accepted into a nurse practitioner program. That is not true, and we will explore all the other options, and you'll see there's no need to have a BSN to be enrolled in a nurse practitioner program. All right, so that's the first method. You're already associate degree holding RN, find an MSN program where you could go straight from RN to MSN. Included in the program is usually some kind of bridge program where you take all the courses that you would have taken in a BSN program. All right, so that's that. The next method is, some may say it might be more expensive, maybe it's not. If you shop around different schools, it may not be more expensive. This next method, you're an existing ADN RN, once again, and you decide to go for the BSN because your job pays for it. You have extra money lying around, or you just want to take the slow route because you're not quite sure what kind of nurse practitioner you want to be. And that's okay, because it takes time to find yourself in nursing, explore nursing, okay? See what it's all about, what it has to offer. So this second method is you're an associate degree RN, you go for your BSN, keep working, try to find yourself, figure out what you want to do, and then proceed to get the master's. And at this rate, if you have a bachelor's, and we'll get to that. I think that's my third step. So let's just stop there and let's go to the third way, okay? The third way is you have a BSN, okay? So you want to become a nurse practitioner. So you go on and you apply for a master's program. Now, in the first two methods, or the first method, you probably can't go from associate straight to DNP. So you have to get the master's first. But in the second method, you stop to get your BSN. So now it's tying into this third method where you have your Bachelor's of Science in Nursing degree, and now you want to become a nurse practitioner. You have two options. And every time I mention masters from here on out, it's going to be masters or DNP because you have two options. No, they have not required that the DNP be the entry to practice for nurse practitioners yet. That is the goal. It was supposed to be done by, 2020, I think. They pushed it back. They're going to keep pushing it back until they get their act together, but that's another video, another topic. So, third method, you have your bachelor's degree, just apply for a nurse practitioner program, whether it be a master's in science of nursing or a doctorate of nursing practice, all right? Next, number 4, we're up to number 4. Fourth method is you're not a nurse, okay? And you want to become a nurse. You go and become a nurse via a direct entry Master's of Science in Nursing program. Now, I know direct entry is that's a term that's usually reserved for direct entry NP programs, but there are direct entry Masters of Science in Nursing, or MSN programs, to become an RN. And I think the purpose behind these programs is so you have less work to do once you decide to advance your education. So you already have a master's degree, but you're just a nurse. So you just, no shade. but just, you are just a registered nurse. You're not an advanced practice nurse just because you hold this master's degree. You just got this master's degree. You took all the classes that's needed, but you didn't take any classes that will make you become any of the APRN roles as clinical nurse specialist or certified nurse practitioner or CRNA, or I'm missing one, CNS, CNP, CRNA, certified nurse midwife. All right, so you are just a registered nurse. These programs do exist. So after that, work for a few years, figure out what you want to do. And then you have two options still. You could either get a postmaster's certificate to become a nurse practitioner, or you could apply for a doctor of nursing practice and find a nurse practitioner program with that method. All right, that's number 4. Number 5 is actually the method I chose, I suppose. You're a nurse. You have an MSN in something. Let's use me, for example. You have an MSN in nursing education, and now you want to become a nurse practitioner. Once again, you have two options. I took the option 1 is to get a postmaster's certificate, become a nurse practitioner, or you could apply for a DNP program and become a nurse practitioner that way. Okay, so there are your options there. Existing nurse, you got your MSN, and this also applies if you have an MSN already in an existing nurse practitioner role and you want to go back. For example, a lot of people out there, they have their MSN as an FNP and they want to go back for their psych mental health nurse practitioner. So they have two options. They have to go back for a postmaster certificate to get their psych mental health nurse practitioner, or go for the gusto and apply for a DNP program and get a psych mental health nurse practitioner that way. All right, that was number 5. Number 6, the 6th method on my list, is the direct entry to become a nurse practitioner. These are direct entry MSN programs to become a nurse practitioner. These are usually for people who are not nurses. They are whatever in life. They're accountants, they're teachers, they're business people, they're whatever. And they decide they want to become a nurse practitioner. These programs are popping up everywhere. They're being offered by some prestigious universities out there. And basically, you could get your MSN in about, I think, 3 years. Some of them advertise. And you go from 0 to 100 in 3 years. You go from not a nurse at all to being a nurse practitioner. Now, in these programs, understand as a nurse practitioner, you have to be a registered nurse in order to become a nurse practitioner. You don't necessarily have to practice as a registered nurse to become a nurse practitioner, but you must have an RN license to become a nurse practitioner. So usually in these programs, along the way, you take a pit stop, you take the NCLEX, you pass the NCLEX, you get your license as an RN, and you just keep on trucking along and you become a nurse practitioner that way. In my opinion, and this is only my opinion, I don't agree with that method because the role of the nurse practitioner was created to build upon the knowledge of registered nurses. So to just go from not a nurse to just nurse practitioner, I don't know, that's just a thing with me. I don't agree with it, but it is a method. It's on the list. It's a way of you becoming a nurse practitioner. So there you go. Number 7. This is for my non-nurses again. Let's say you don't want to go straight to nurse practitioner as in method number 6. So you want to take a little slower route. It's not that much slower, but it's a little slower. You can apply for an accelerated Bachelor's of Science in Nursing to become an RN. These programs actually require you to have a bachelor's in another degree. They want you to have a degree in something. So you enroll in these accelerated Bachelor of Science nursing programs. They're not your traditional BSN programs. They are, by their name, accelerated. They are nursing school in overdrive, okay? You will be working hard from what I've heard. You could, search on YouTube. There's several videos on YouTube about people in these programs. And you work hard for I think it's between maybe 12 to 18 months, some of the programs run. And you become an RN with a Bachelor's of Science degree in that time. And you graduate, you become a nurse, and at that point you have the option of either applying for a master's or DNP once again. Those are always your two options. So there is another option depending on, and as you can see from all these options, it depends on your situation, whether you're already a nurse or you're not a nurse already, okay? And my eighth option in becoming a nurse practitioner, which is, it's going to tie back to the first method. You're a non-nurse and you want to take the slow route. And this is maybe the slowest route there is. You're a non-nurse. Let's say you don't have money like that to enroll in an accelerated Bachelor of Science nursing program. You find you a cheap community college, you get your associate's degree. You get it. You can sit for the NCLEX, you become an RN. There's nothing wrong with that. We all, ADN nurses, diploma nurses, BSN nurses, we all take the same NCLEX. Now it depends on your geographic area where you want to work. Some areas require BSN because they're magnet status and they just, they want all their nurses to have BSNs. There are some hospitals out there that still exist that will hire ADN nurses. So it all depends on your area, your geographic area, where you want to work, where you're going to end up working. That's why there's so many options out there to become a nurse practitioner. These options will apply depending on your individual situation. So this last method, you're a non-nurse, you go get your ADN. All right. You work for the employer. The employer offers tuition reimbursement, or they change their rules like, hey, you have to be a BSN within 2 years. Well, they have tuition reimbursement, utilize it. Let them pay for your BSN. Boom, you got your BSN. Now, you want to apply for the master's. Boom, apply for the master's. You either want to, you got either or, or you want to take the extra slow route, you get your master's, and then you work for a while, or you don't work for a while, it's up to you. But at this point, no, we're not talking about advancing your education, we're just talking about becoming a nurse practitioner. So yeah, that last step after you get your BSN, sorry, a guy on a rampage, you get your BSN and then you apply for either an MSN or DNP program. So it kind of like, once you get the associate, we swing back to the first method. Now you don't have to get the BSN. That would be slow route. You could cut out the BSN and then go back to method number one and go straight for the MSN. But usually with those programs, I'm going to say just like the accelerated Bachelor of Science of Nursing programs, the programs where you go from ADN to MSN, they usually want you to have a bachelor's degree in something else. So it's not as many classes you have to take to get the master's. Like for me, I had a Bachelor of Science in Biotechnology before I got my nursing degree. So when I applied for my master's program, I had 99% of the classes. I think I needed 3 credits in sociology or something like that. And that's it. So there you have it, the 8 ways to become a nurse practitioner. I hope I didn't confuse you too much, but I will hopefully shed some light for anyone out there who's wondering, can I do it this way? Can I become a nurse practitioner that way? Can I do it this way? Well, I'm not a nurse, so how can I? 8 ways. 8 wonderful ways to become a nurse practitioner. All right, so hopefully this was helpful. All right, I'll see you next year, okay? I think I'll be posting this video. This will be the last video I'll post before the new year. And my New Year's resolution is to make more videos timely. I'm going to try to get into this a little more, okay? Take care. Love you. God bless. Wear a mask. Keep your distance. Wash your hands. All right? Talk to you soon. See you next year. Bye.